It happened on Christmas Eve. Laughter, glasses clinking, the soft hum of carols. And then, my name, whispered between chuckles. I wasn't supposed to hear it. I'd stepped into the hallway to take a call, just outside the dining room. My parents were inside, the people I'd been sending money to every month for the past 7 years. Rent, utilities, groceries, their vacations, their medical bills, all covered. My quiet way of repaying everything they'd done for me when I was younger. But that night, I realized I'd been paying for something else, their comfort in belittling me. "He's doing his best," my mother said with a laugh, the kind that carries venom under the softness. "Please," my father snorted, "a man with no degree sending us money like some savior. He's lucky we let him feel useful. Low-educated freeloader." The room erupted in laughter. My cousins, my aunts, even my sister, the one I helped through college, smiled. That sound, it tore through me sharper than glass. I stood there, frozen, the phone in my hand buzzing with a forgotten call. When I was younger, I thought love was duty. My parents had struggled. My father lost his job when I was 15. My mother sold handmade candles to keep food on the table. I worked nights after high school, skipped college, and went straight into construction. Hard labor, long days. But I didn't complain. I told myself, they gave me life. I'll give them comfort. When I bought them their first car, my father had said, "You should be proud, son." When I paid off their mortgage, my mother had cried, "You're our blessing." I believed them. God, I believed them. After that Christmas night, I didn't confront them. I didn't yell or storm out. I smiled through dinner, carved the roast, and even helped with dishes. That's the thing about betrayal. It teaches you the art of silence. When my father handed me a glass of wine and said, "To family," I clinked it gently against his and said, "To honesty." He laughed, not understanding, not yet. The next morning, I began my withdrawal. I called the bank and canceled the standing orders. I stopped paying their bills. No more monthly deposits. No more reminders to help out with this or that. At first, I told myself it wasn't revenge, just balance. But deep down, I knew it was retribution, quiet and clean. 3 weeks later, my mother called. Her voice was hesitant. "The electricity bill bounced. Did something happen?" I told her I'd been busy, maybe next month. 2 days later, my father called, his tone colder. "You forgot the transfer." I didn't forget. I remembered every word they'd said that night. By the end of the month, they were behind on rent. My sister messaged me asking if I could be understanding. Understanding? I'd understood everything that night, perfectly. February came. The calls turned desperate. "Son, your mother's blood pressure medicine." "I'll send it soon," I said, knowing I wouldn't. Then came the silence. Weeks of it. I thought maybe they'd learned humility. But then I got a message from my uncle. Apparently my parents had told everyone I'd turned selfish after getting a promotion, that I'd forgotten my family. I laughed when I read it. The irony was poetic. So I gave them what they wanted, a performance worth gossiping about. I invited the family for dinner in March, rented out a nice restaurant, told them I had big news. They came dressed like royalty. My father even wore the watch I'd gifted him on his 60th birthday. Halfway through the evening, I stood up and said, "I want to thank everyone here, especially my parents, for teaching me something important this year." My mother smiled proudly, like a queen expecting praise. I looked at her. "They taught me that generosity without respect is servitude, that love without honesty is manipulation, and that sometimes the only way to heal is to stop feeding the hand that bites." The table went silent. My father's jaw tightened. "What's that supposed to mean?" I smiled. "It means the freeloader finally stopped freeloading." You could hear the breath leave the room. My sister's eyes widened. My mother's face flushed red. "You ungrateful—" "No," I interrupted. I was grateful. Until I heard you mock me. Until I realized you saw my hard work as a punchline. I laid a small envelope on the table. Copies of the bank statements from the past 7 years. Every payment. Every transfer. Then I said softly, "You can call me low-educated, but I know what dignity costs, and I'm done paying your bill." I left before they could respond. The air outside felt cold but clean. A month later, I heard through my sister that they'd sold the car, moved to a smaller apartment. My father had to pick up part-time work again. I didn't feel joy, I didn't feel pity either, just equilibrium. Sometimes silence isn't absence, it's justice. Sometimes cutting someone off isn't cruelty, it's clarity. They called again recently.